Hey everybody, Steve Layman here along with Belmont Athletics Director Scott Corley for Corley Quarterly, presented by First Bank. We're inside the Bruin Den at the Crockett Center for Athletic Excellence. Did I get that right?
You got it
It's
right.
still new.
Yes.
Still beautiful, still new, and man, what an impressive space. It's a little quieter in here this week because unfortunately basketball season is over. A week out from that incredible women's game against Tennessee over in Knoxville in the second round of the tournament. Have you recovered yet? Because I'm not sure I have.
I don't think I have, honestly. It was tough on Friday or Saturday whenever UT was playing, because you just kept thinking that could be us, and we were that close. But couldn't be more proud of a team and how they represented Belmont. I mean, they brought the Belmont community together. I mean, for us to get 5 busloads of fans and students to go to Knoxville for the game, and then have another 600 students on the lawn here on campus cheering them on, watching the broadcast. I mean, it was really great to see, and well-deserved for this team because they play so hard, and they had such a gutty performance to beat Oregon in double overtime. And then, to play a program like UT at their place and to have, be up 2 with 30 seconds to go, it's pretty exciting stuff.
I've thought all of March Madness, men's and women's tournaments, have been incredibly exciting. But in terms of an advertisement for your program, to go to double overtime in the game that they played to beat Oregon, second straight year of a 12-over-5 upset, and then to take Tennessee absolutely down to the wire, the second half of that game, battling back from 12 down, then trading buckets in the fourth quarter, I'm not sure if there was a better game the entire weekend.
I agree, and a lot of people tuned into that game, right? I think the eyeballs said it was the third most watched game, and so that level of exposure for this program and for the university is what makes March Madness so interesting and exciting from an athletic administrator's viewpoint. But I'm just glad our team and coaching staff got to experience that, because it was a great effort. We'd lose 2 seniors in Connolly and Jamelin that gave so much to the program, but we've got our core coming back, which is also really exciting. And that Tennessee game is just a reminder how hard it is to win a game in the tournament. But you'll learn from it, and I know Coach Bart and his staff will learn from it, and we'll get better because of it.
Speaking of Bart, have we written up a lifetime contract or anything? 6 to 7 years in the tournament, back-to-back wins in the tournament. He's got it rolling over there.
It's pretty phenomenal, and he's just a great leader, and he always has the right thing at the right time, pushes the right buttons, and they believe in him, and he believes in them, and he does it in such a low ego way. It's really unique. So yes, we're doing everything we can to keep him at Belmont.
On the men's side, I know we all wish that it would have ended in the NCAA tournament or playing longer, maybe to New York City. But another 25-win season for Casey and these guys, it's hard to hang your head about that.
No doubt. I mean, I think the expectations coming in this year were as high as they've ever been. So there is that feeling like, wow, we didn't get to where we wanted to go. But when you step back and really put it into context, 25 wins, playing a really difficult non-conference schedule, winning some tough games on the road, to get in at large the NIT. I mean, that's not something we can take for granted here at Belmont.
Didn't happen last year.
It didn't happen, but that tells you where the program has grown to. And so, when you kind of step back and reflect on it, another great season. Don't ever want to take these for granted. And I think it's a good springboard to where we're going next year in the Missouri Valley.
It is going to be a time of change. Obviously, guys like Grayson Murphy and Nick Muzinski and Tate Pearson, Luke Smith, they all graduate and move on. That's a lot to lose, a lot of victories right there, but there's still a lot here to be excited about. What's your optimism with what Casey's doing as you move on to the Missouri Valley?
I felt this way, or a lot of our fans feel this way after every season. Wow, where are we going to find replacements for Nick Muzinski, Grayson? It was Dylan Windler, it was Ian Clark. I mean, you go on. And it's part of the strength of this program. We find, student athletes to come in and fill those voids. And that's part of being in a winning program. There's an expectation that whoever's coming in, they're going to continue to expect to win. So, you lose a lot of wins. You're right. That's a senior group that did a lot of good things that we're going to miss. But I'm highly confident in Casey and his staff that we'll keep this thing going and keep winning games.
Well, now we turn our attention to the spring sports, all of them underway at this point. even though it hasn't always felt like spring weather outside. They're in full go, and there's been a lot of action over at Rose Park. Baseball, 10 straight wins early on in the year, highlighted by the 1,000th career victory for our guy Dave Jarvis.
Just another great leader that we're blessed at Belmont to have. And what an amazing career, and really happy to celebrate him with that type of milestone. And I'm sure he'll tell you, I've coached a lot of games, and so I what's another win? But he wants to get to probably 1,050 by the end of this year, right? And he's got that team playing. At the time of this taping, just coming off winning the series against Austin Peay in the conference to get things rolling. And I really like this team. I mean, they got a good mix of veteran leadership, young players coming in, good solid pitching, which we all know is important. And Kyle Brennan, a closer who's, I think, leading the country in saves already this year, just broke the record for most career saves at Belmont. I mean, that's a good recipe for success.
Softball team started with, I believe, 13 straight games away from home. Avoided some of that weather early on, but a good start to conference play as well.
Really good. I'm really proud of Laura Matthews and the staff and what this team's doing. To go 6-0 in your first 6 conference games, that's never been done before here. And Laura has brought a level of stability and excitement around this program that I'm really have enjoyed getting to work beside her as she's building her program the way she wants it built.
Just about 40 yards that way. Mauricio Anton's getting work in with the men's and women's tennis programs. The men's program battle the Boulevard champions once again, and off to an 8-3 start as they get set for OVC play.
Yeah, Mauricio just keeps getting it done. I know he's excited to see what this team can do in the last year in the Ohio Valley. It's typically us and Tennessee Tech that it comes down to, and so he's got him playing really, really well, though. I'm excited about that. And he also oversees the women's side, and he's brought in some really, really good players on the women's side that I think they've got a real chance to do some damage in conference play.
In terms of track, we just saw the OVC Indoor Championships wrap up recently. The women finished second, the men finished third there indoors. Great performances. Now they head outdoors, which I know changes the dynamic a little bit, but what do you expect out there?
Very excited about that. I mean, indoor is typically a good idea of what you can do outdoor. And for us, outdoor, we've got such a good, strong throws program where the outdoor offers even more opportunity to get points. So, what I love seeing with track and field athletes is, obviously you're building up to 1 week to perform the best you can, but we've got a lot of athletes hitting personal records, and that's all you can ask for in that sport, right? Is you just continue to do the best that you can do individually in your sport, and when it all comes together, hopefully you got enough points at the end of the day to raise a trophy.
We talked earlier about athletes that just impress you when you meet them here on the campus of Belmont University, and one of the most memorable athletes I've ever met is Evan Davis from men's golf. You just talk to him, and Belmont and confidence and smarts just sort of ooze out of this young man. He did the prayer ahead of the spring luncheon kickoff, and he also said that day, he said, when I'm golfing, whether this is realistic or not, I feel like I'm the best golfer on the planet, and I can go do that. And he's kind of played like it this spring. I'm not sure if he's up there with Scott Scheffler yet, the way he's going, but 2-time OVC Golfer of the Week. He's playing really well.
He's special. Great kid. Another one that just, it's easy to root for because he's got things in perspective, but boy, he's a competitor. And when he's out on that course, he is going to do everything in battle to the bitter end. And he's a great leader, too. I mean, for him to help lead the young people, he takes pride in that. And I just think the world of the kid, and I hope nothing but continued success for him. He obviously got a taste of the NCAA tournament last year as a qualifier there, and there's high hopes, high expectations with him and this team, and so it's going to be fun to cheer them on.
In terms of the women's side, the optimism there as they get further into the season, closer to the conference tournament act.
Really good. Had a great fall season. I think they're going to be playing with a lot of confidence. Cameron Fish is another just amazing leader on campus. She is president of our SAC group, which is the leadership of students on campus. And just Jordan's doing a wonderful job managing that team, getting them ready to play. And I think it's gonna, we're gonna be in there fighting for that trophy as well, which that's all you can ask for in those types of sports where it's 1 week. You've got to bring your game, and everybody's got to play well. That's a lot to ask for.
Scott, you mentioned off the top, obviously, the impact that this beautiful Crockett Center has meant for multiple programs and really Belmont Athletics as a whole. As you move towards the Missouri Valley, anything else on the docket? This is the first one, but anything else that you're doing? And I do know part of the reason we were at Vanderbilt in the opening game of the NIT was because you got to change over the court. Yes. Functionally, just the logos have to change for next year, but also a new court. What else is on the docket?
We did open a new hitting facility out at Rose Park. That is a beautiful building that's going to help our baseball and softball programs tremendously. I mean, it's first class. We're replacing our soccer turf, much needed replacement out at Rose Park. That facility gets such wear and tear from the community that it was time to do that. And then we're constantly looking at things. And, I think the move to the Valley has helped a lot of different constituents on campus really review what is needed and the areas that it's needed to be invested in. So I feel great on the amount of support that I've been getting, that the department's been getting from the rest of the senior leadership on campus and our donor base.
And of course, none of the growth, whether it be facilities, programs, the move to the Missouri Valley, or just simply the support and success you see, is possible without a lot of these people watching and all of Bruin Nation out there.
Without a doubt. I mean, can't thank our sponsors enough, our fan base. Like I said, to see how many that embraced the women's basketball run was awesome. I thought our crowds throughout the entire basketball season were great. Our marketing team's doing a great job with that. But it starts and stops, obviously, with the fans and the sponsors. And, we probably don't say it enough, but thank you for everybody out there for all you do to help us.
Well, it's a great family out there, and we appreciate all of them watching today and catching up. We appreciate seeing them all throughout the basketball season. Hope to see you somewhere this spring as well, and as we get set for that move to the Missouri Valley. Scott, great to catch up.
Thanks, Steve.
This has been Corley Quarterly, presented by First Bank, with the man, the athletic director, Scott Corley.